It's a cat. Morning, Creative Companions. It's 11 o'clock. Ooh, it's been a little bumpy getting here. Lighting by Ram Dass, Chapter 1 today. And we're going to be doing a guided painting together, acrylic paints. So you'll need a variety of brushes, a variety of colors, specifically black and white for sure. Some paper towels, some clothes you don't mind getting paint on, and a cardboard for your canvas. We use cardboard for our canvas and Creative Companions for a lot of reasons. Mainly with Amazon and everything, there is so much cardboard in the world. So let's make it into art. In Creative Companions, we're working with this idea of our censor and silencing the censor, that part of us that uh, makes things hard for us and tells us we can't and all of that. And if we have a nice, pristine white canvas, sometimes we feel pressured to do it a certain way, to do it perfectly. So, hi, Tony. Just to, keep it simple and silence that perfectionist part of ourselves. I set myself in this really sunny spot. I might have to move a little and change my camera angle a little and move over there. It's a pretty day. I hope it's a pretty day wherever you are. We got sun. I got a cat hanging out here with me today. That's nice. It's the breathing and the yoga. Please excuse me while I fidget about. And you do the same at home. Fidget about, gather your things, make sure you're comfortable and have everything you need so that you can stay here with me for the next hour and do this painting. Man, the lighting's bad and only going to get worse in this spot. And I'm going to be hot. It's been a challenging morning. I was all set up, ready to start Creative Companions, and then this um, big bus that's going to be running in. Anyway, uh, even one another's progress and growth as a creative being. We honor that. The good that I wish for myself, I wish for all of you. I and I are one. Oh, I didn't say you might need a palette. Yeah, you need something to put your paint on. Um, if you know me, you know I like to pick the paint off the palette and make it all clean before I start. So I'm going to do that for a second. Hmm. So at like 11:05 here, we'll start our meditation. I hope everybody had a good week. I hope you're having a good morning. This is going to be a great hour together. I know I need this medicine right now. And just relaxing into being been a little, yeah, flustered. ah. So, hopefully some of you have read the chapter. That's what we're going to discuss today is chapter 1. I found it a good read and found myself reading it over and over this week. Because as I said before, we're just exploring these things together. I'm not an expert. I've only read this book once. Um, these are things I'm trying to integrate into myself and have an open mind about. And this is me doing my healing and my exploration with you in front of you. Um, so there's a guided visual meditation at the end of chapter 1. Convenient. So we're going to do that guided meditation together today. I'm going to read it. You can simply close your eyes now and just focus on your breathing. Hi, Logan. Did you want to join us? Yeah, you can sit down anywhere. We're just about to start meditation, and it's a guided meditation. I was just saying, and we're reading "Polishing the Mirror" by Ram Dass. So this is a guided meditation by him that you're welcome to join. So we're just going to start focusing on our breath in through our nose. You can even hold that for a second, and then like a wave, just let it out. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Take a really deep one. Bless you. In and out. So sit straight, keeping your eyes closed. Your head, neck, and chest are in alignment. Focus in your heart area, in the spiritual center, the center of your chest. With your mouth closed now, breathe in and out of your chest. Focusing on your heart as if you were breathing in and out through your heart. Breathe deeply. Because of the purity of your seeking, many incredibly high beings are present here. And with them comes the spiritual substance out of which all form derives. You can imagine that substance now as a golden mist that fills the air. With every breath, don't just breathe in air. Imagine you are pulling into yourself this golden substance. Fill up with it. Let it pour through your entire body. Breathe in the energy of the universe. Breathe in the breath of God. Let it fill your whole body. Each time that you breathe out all things in you that keep you from knowing your true self. Breathe out separateness, all feelings of unworthiness, all self-pity. Breathe out all the attachment to your pain, whether it's physical or psychological. Breathe out anger and doubt and greed and lust and confusion. Breathe in God's breath and breathe out all the impediments that keep you from knowing. Let the breath be your transformation. Now let the golden mist that has poured into your being focus in the middle of your chest. Let it take form as a tiny little being, the size of your thumb. Little teeny tiny. Sitting on a flower, a lotus flower, right in the middle of your chest. Notice the radiance that comes from within it. Use your imagination now. As you look upon this little being, see that it is radiating light. See the light pouring out. As you meditate upon it, experience the deep peace that is emanating from this being. Feel as you look upon this being that it is a being of great wisdom. It's sitting quietly, silently, perfectly poised in your heart. Feel its compassion and its love. Let yourself be filled with its love. Now slowly let that tiny being grow in size until it fills your whole body. So its head fills the space of your head, its torso fills your torso, and so on. So now in the skin of your body sits this being of infinite wisdom, of deep compassion, bathed in bliss, a being that is self-indulgent, a being of perfect tranquility. Now let this being begin to grow in size. Experience yourself growing till everything in the room around you is within you. All of the sounds or the sensory experiences are coming from inside of you. Continue to grow Feel your vastness, your peace. Your head extends into the sky. For a moment, experience the human condition. See the loneliness, the joy, caring, paranoia, a mother's love for her child, sickness, fear of death. See it all. It's all within you. See it with compassion and with caring. Feel the light pour through your entire being. Let yourself grow still larger. Feel your vastness increase until you're sitting in the middle of this galaxy. The deep belly of the earth is within your belly. Feel the beauty. Sit in this universe silent, peaceful, compassionate, and loving. All of the creations of human beings' minds are within you. Look upon them now with compassion. Continue to grow until not only this galaxy, but every galaxy is within you, until everything you can conceive of is within you. All of it is inside you. You are the only one. Feel your aloneness, your silence, your peace. There are no others here. All beings are within you in one. Feel that you are the ancient one. Everything that ever was or will be is part of the dance of your being. You are the universe, so you have infinite wisdom. You feel all the feelings, so you have infinite compassion. Let the boundaries of your being dissolve and merge yourself into that which is beyond form. Sit for a moment in the formless, beyond compassion, beyond love. Just let it all be. Just let it all be in its perfection. Very gently now, very slowly, let the boundaries of your vast being, the one, reestablish themselves. Vast, silent, always within you. Come back from beyond the one and slowly come down in size. Come down through the universe, into this universe, until your head is once again among the planets and the earth is within you. Come down again until your head is once again in the heavens and the cities are within you. Come down in size until your head is at the top of your room. Stop here for a moment. Stop here in your room. From this place, look down into the room and find the being who you thought that you were when you began this meditation. Look at that being, bringing to bear all of your love and compassion. See the journey of that being as it's living out this incarnation. See its fears, its doubts, its connections. See all thoughts and objects it clings to and keep it from being free. See how very close it is to knowing who it is. Look within that being and see the purity of its soul. Reach down and with your mind, very gently, place your hand on the head of this being and bestow upon it your blessing, that in this very life it may fully know itself, experience simultaneously that which blesses and that which is being blessed. Now come back down into the body that you thought you were when we began. Breathe. You are still flesh, surrounding a being of radiance and wisdom, a being of compassion that comes from attunement with the truth, with love for all that than loving. Look to their sins. Welcome back. Welcome to Creative Companions, where we're all believing mirrors for one another. So we did the meditation on a previous video. So I'm not going to do it again right now. The meditation, though, that we did this week. So we're in the meditation expanding to our universal selves while keeping in touch with this little small being the size of our thumb in our heart center. Please let me know that you're seeing me here now. I'm going to talk a little bit about meditation and why do we meditate at the beginning of every group, or why do we meditate, period. We meditate to silence the mind, that part of us that chatters away and gets in our way. We meditate to come to now, to come to the present moment, to be here with the people that we're with one another, to be fully with one another. I had some wonderful people here in my physical presence. I'm glad you're, hey, Donna, I'm glad you found me. So, yeah, we meditate to be fully in the present with the people in our presence, including ourselves. We also meditate to just check in with ourselves, to be present in our bodies, to remember what it feels like to be in there. It's a good place to be. So if you didn't catch that first part of this week's group, we had some technical difficulties, and but we did make it through most of the meditation. And it is at the end of chapter 1, Polishing the Mirror. So I highly recommend that you give that a try. Even if you just are sitting yourself, you don't have someone else reading it to you like I did this morning. If you just sit and relax your breathing, take nice juicy gulps of air for yourself. While you read that meditation, it's a guided meditation for you that you can do for yourself at any time. That's probably cool. My screen's kind of blowing in the wind, which I'm filming with my laptop, so it looks like we're moving. Okay, so for today, we're going to need our acrylic paint supplies, paintbrush, palette paint, a piece of cardboard to paint on. Y'all know why I paint on cardboard, because there's way too much of it in the world, and it all goes into the landfill. And we can make it into something beautiful. And if we paint on cardboard, we don't feel pressured. I'm going to get you started right away on this one. So put some black, purple, and blue paint on your palette. Black, purple, and blue. Hey, Donna, I'm glad you're back. We got 2 Donnas with us. There's 2 Donnas. Donna. Right? We need a 3rd Donna. So what we're going to do first is just with a quickness, cover your canvas with, I'm going to tell you what the first part of this is going to be, a night sky. So night skies can be purple. They can be solid black. Add a little water to your paint to help it move across the canvas, go in different directions. We're just looking to cover the canvas right now. You can just do solid black if you want. I'm just putting a little purple with mine and maybe a little blue. Oh, I like when I watered it down. That's something fun to experiment with here at the beginning. What does it do when you add different amounts of water? We're just always just playing. You know, we also meditate to be present for this creative process. This is a fun process, creativity. In some magical way, it heals us. So we want to be here now and participating in our transformation and in our healing. Man, I hope everyone is finding this video. Let me know if you're here. I'm going to add some blue here at the bottom. It's not really going to show up a lot right now because I have so much black. But right now, we don't want to think about it a lot. We just, with the quickness, want to get our canvas nice and covered. And then we're going to give that a minute here to dry. So I'm just going to do mine real quick and lie it down there. And I'm going to read to you from Polishing the Mirror. Acrylic paint does stain your clothes, by the way. Not your skin, though. Paint naked. The essence... Caca! So, we're reading from chapter 1, Polishing the Mirror. The essence of yoga is union, or becoming one with the universe. Unified consciousness comes with cessation of thoughts, stopping of thoughts. Quieting the mind allows the natural depth of spirit to manifest. Meditation, the practice of quieting and concentrating and purifying the mind, aligning it with spirit, is the foundation of yoga. Meditation stems from the truth that who you really are is more than who you think you are. Who you really are is more than who you think you are. And the more you desire to know who you truly are and why you are here on earth, the more you're drawn to the truth. The reality of oneness is greater than what is available to you through your senses and your thoughts. So that reality of oneness is greater than what is available to you through your senses and your thoughts and your usual way of thinking through things and doing things. Attachment to the melodrama of your ego is what keeps you from being here now. Oh man, did I get all stuck up and tripped around in my ego. Oof, for a couple days here. This model of who you, I think we are and how you, I, we think the world is constantly brings you down into separateness. These are habits of the mind. This is being human. A more skillful use of the intellect is contemplation. It's also a form of yoga. The path of knowledge and wisdom. In this yoga of the mind, you use the mind to reflect on itself. For example, each morning you can take out a holy book and work with a thought. Or take out your journal, sit with a thought for 10 or 15 minutes, write them down. Think about it throughout your day. If we reflect on things like kindness or compassion, we begin to take on those qualities. If you meditate on your ideal, you will acquire its nature. Yes. So, I'm all right, back to our canvas for a minute. The next thing we're going to do is I just with a quickness would like to make this look like a starry night sky, because then we're going to get to the magic. So we want to get a brush now that is yucky and not wet. Never been in water today. And like mine is all squished up. The bristles are all a mess. What we're going to do now is I put some white paint on my palette. I just dipped the ends of the bristles into the paint, and I'm going to start flicking and making stars. And the longer you flick, the smaller your stars become. There is no controlling this process whatsoever. It's going to do what it does. Let's just have some fun, flick some stars. I've seen people do this other ways, like by, see if I can demonstrate this, taking and just, doing something like that. Maybe they didn't want to get paint on their finger, but I like flicking it, and you can play around with how close you go to the canvas with your, and don't worry if you get some blobs like that. Don't worry. There's no worry to what we're doing. You just keep going. Don't try to fix something. Okay? Just let it be. Just let it be. And that is such with life. Let yourself be. Let her be. Let her be. Let her be whoever she is. Let him be. It sounds cool when we say let her be, though, because I think of the letter. Anyway, so flick, flick, flick some paint there. I think of the Beatles. Right, me too. Let her be. Let her be. But I also think of the letter B, as in boy. So now I'm going to add a little, and you can just keep flicking. I'm going to demonstrate something next. I'm going to give you a minute to flick. Also, I'm going to show you something. So see where I have that blob? Where I got a blob of paint there that's still wet. You can take a smaller brush. I'm going to take a little pointy one, like this. And you can take that spot where it's wet and drag it away like that a couple of times. You see? And make yourself a little shooting star, because one just appeared there. You might also, and if you just want to watch a second, I'm going to do that in all directions. So it exploded like a star, but it shot from over there into the picture. Maybe I do that with this one too, just because. Yeah, so play around with any little dots that you have that are remaining wet after you feel done flicking. And maybe you make some little shooting stars like this. Now, isn't that fun? See that? You see? So you can just take a little pointy brush and just drag some of those wet areas. I'm just going to spend a few minutes here making a couple stars, and you all do the same. If you don't have any like larger areas, you could flick purposefully take your small brush and put a dot with the white, boop, and then drag it. You see? I'll try to come a little closer. So I just put a little dot there first, and I'm just going to drag it. I'm not even looking. You know, we're not trying to do anything perfect here. Right? Like painting with our eyes closed, kind of. Okay, so do some shooting stars there for a minute. We're going to let that dry a second. And we see where I left off. So you can't know it, you can only be it, Ram says. If you're reading this, you already recognize you're on a spiritual journey. You may also understand from within the illusion of our separateness, what we perceive is relative reality. What in India is referred to as Maya, the projected illusion of subjects and objects. All around us, there are various levels of relative reality. When you begin to awaken to your predicament, that you are trapped in illusion, you begin to see through the dreamlike quality of the veils of illusion. Everything you thought was real, you now see as Maya. Motivations and desires affect our perceptions. We don't necessarily see things as they are, we see them as we are. Our desire system creates our perceptual universe. In that sense, you can say that our reality is a projection of how we identify ourselves. We're always just having a conversation with ourselves. Which brings me to the next part of our painting. We are going to make our spirit, our big body self. We're going to make our body self first. And let me show you. Please, like, put your brush down and just watch for a minute. Because if you get ahead, then you're going to think too much and go too far. So I'm going to get, yet again, another brush that hasn't been wet, a dry brush, because I just want to subtly make my physical body on this universe. So I'm going to mix a little white and purple so that I have a light purple on my brush, and I'm going to wipe most of it off. I like to check on my hand. See that? Just a little bit of paint, not a lot. What's the top? What's the bottom of my cardboard here? Okay, it goes this way. So myself, I want my head at the top, and you see, because I have very little paint on there, it's barely making a mark. So we're just going to make an oval for our head. See that? I just made a very light oval. Whoops, sorry. And then I'm going to bring my arms, we're going to reach them out. So the neck comes down, the arms go out. So if you want to go ahead now and very, very little paint. I'm using purple because I want my aura on the outside to be purple. But we're going to add other colors. So you can use white for this part. You could use a light blue. So we got the head, and then the arms are going to come out, thinking like, even like wings. Okay, so just a line though. So just a line for that one. And then we'll come down from here. I'm a girl, so I'll put my curves in here. Two little boobies. And then I put my torso. See? We're just indicating our little body self. It's not really drawn it, just little lines. And then we'll give me some hips here. We'll give me that little V here in the middle. And then we'll give me some legs. And they can go off the page. I'm standing like with my, all right? So look, nothing perfect about that. Nothing perfect about it, but it's just very subtly there, right? So now I'm going to give you a minute. Make the size and shape of you. Give yourself an oval head. Put your arms out. And then your body, you know what your body looks like. If you were seeing yourself in silhouette, you know, and we're not going for perfection. I'm just going to touch up just a little here, and I'm going to talk some more. I'm going to give me a belly button. So that's what I have for my universal spirit big self here. So I'm going to give you all a minute to do that while I read to you, okay? Just real light, use your paper towel, wipe it off, or use your cardboard. And then, man, you can make yourself like as tall as that. You can stretch, or you can stretch yourself. You can make yourself as tall as you want. This is your big, like in the meditation, we talked about the little tiny self that is the wisdom and the knowledge that lives in our heart. But then we expanded ourselves to include the entire universe within us. So, however you want to represent that, and we're going to go to the heart space then here in a minute. So going on with what Ram Dass has to say here, he's saying that if you think you're free and you don't know you're in prison, you can't escape. He saw us being in a prism of our habits of mind. Unless we understand we are conditioned by our desires, we remain stuck in the illusory reality they create. Like a TV program with a subliminal message that your desire like a television program with a subliminal message that you are your desire, repeating over and over. So beyond thought is a new type of thinking. It's essential if mankind is to survive and move to higher levels. Albert Einstein said that. He also said, the mind can proceed only so far upon what it knows and can prove. There comes a point where the mind takes a leap, call it intuition or what you will, when it comes upon a higher plane of knowledge, but can never prove how it got there. All great discoveries have involved such a leap. So we're just coming with an open mind. Einstein says, I didn't arrive at my understanding of the fundamental laws of the universe through my rational mind. He got there through intuition. Intuition is something we really don't understand, though we use it all the time. And we're working on learning to trust it. So, the next part I want to do is with that same brush, I want to make this look a little more abstract. So I'm going to go with some blue and white. I'm going to do a couple different things. Start with blue and white. And so I have just light blue on here now. And I'm going to go around and go up and down like this with the dry brush. No water on the brush. Again, it's very dry. It's just making a lightness. See that? How it made it fuzzy by going up and down? So now I'm going to go around my whole body with that up and down right at the edge of my purple, not totally covering it. And just do that all the way around your outline. And maybe this will help define that outline. It's also expanding you, if you will. So anywhere you put that purple, I'm just going around now with the blue, with the up and down motion with the brush to just make a light. And I'm going right through where I had stars there, my belly button. And just keep expanding out. Now I'm going to switch and I'm going to do some pink. A little pink and white now. So you can do pink, purple. So like, imagine like when you look up at the sky and you can see like the Milky Way, and it has like that blurry edge. That's kind of what we're going for here. And this technique is something you can use anytime. There's so many things you can do with this starry sky as a background and where you can go from there. So I'm just now doing some pink around there. The wind keeps blowing my page. I'm going to reiterate. So people first awaken to the spiritual dimension in their lives in a variety of ways. Sometimes it's trauma. Sometimes it's a near-death experience that wakes them up to a whole different world. A world so different than the one before. That's lyric by my friend Bonnie. So see, we're just still doing this. Sometimes it's a religious experience or meditation. It's our experience. It's each of our experiences that wakes us up. And it's individual. We're each having our own individual human experience, even though we're all the same, which is an interesting thing to think about. We're all learning the same things. One woman said she got there to a calmer place by crocheting. I got there by painting. That's what Creative Companion's about, using creativity as a tool, as a healing tool. So, how's that going for everybody? Everybody getting that in there? You're going to lose your mind to gain your soul, is what it says next. Sounds fun to me. So just keep going with that. You could add some green if you like. Go around there with a little green. So this is, representing your physical body that has a whole universe inside of it that is also part of the vaster universe. And I'm just enjoying making little dots. It gets prettier and prettier as you go. It's a growing thing, just like you. And get more beautiful, more wise as you go. So I wonder how everybody's doing with journaling or artist dates. I forgot to do that part. We got off to a weird start, but um, some of our basic tools that we use in Creative Companions are artist date, just doing something like this, taking your artist child self and doing something just for fun, just for the fun of fun in the now. That's what we're looking for. Fun in the now. We're constantly preoccupied with the creations of our minds. The true value of a human being can be found in the degree to which he has attained liberation from the self. What we strive to be liberated from are our habitual thought patterns about ourselves. Think about that a minute, man. How come when I yay, I love the universe. How come when I decide to go deeper on this journey and get to know myself more, the challenges just get thrown up there? Like this whole chapter played out in real life and to make it more real to me. Turn off your mind. There's a place beyond thought that already knows. Trust that. For real. What good can thinking do? Jesus tells us that unless we become like little children, we can't enter the kingdom of heaven. That child mind, sometimes called the beginner's mind in Zen, is the innocence of pure being, of unconditional love. Look at children. My little lovely granddaughter, she knows. What you're seeking is already within you. You just forgot. So go inward. You're a spiritual being having a human experience. So let's talk about that little spiritual part that lives in our heart center. I'm going to put a little heart in now, and then we're going to create that little lotus flower kind of thing. So same kind of motion. I just went with a little more white now, and I'm going to just put a nice heart shape again with that up and down. Not actually painting, I'm just making that up and down motion so that it's fuzzy, 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 and I'm making a heart. I'm going to put some blue around there too. Can you see that, y'all? So I'm just making a heart inside me. So there you have it. Feel free to add, I keep saying green, and I feel like I need some green in my heart space. Green is healing. I'm going to use this nice limey green. Are you still breathing? I hope so. Don't forget to breathe. I'm going to clean the purple off because I don't want to mix it with that green. And in between, just leave your brushes in the water. But if you want to go back and you have been using a brush that's dry and you need to wash it off, you can just dry it off really, really, really good before you use it again. So I'm going to add a little green now to my heart space just to give that, ooh, look at that. That looks nice. I like it. You could use yellow. Let's just kind of brighten that up some. Now, next we talked about wisdom and the wisdom coming from that heart space. And we used our imaginations to imagine this little tiny being, no bigger than the size of the end of our thumb, within our heart space. And he's sitting on a lotus flower. So, don't get scared. I'm going to make that little thing now. Don't be scared. We just work with stick figures. Watch. If you want to watch a second, I'm going to make a stick figure, and he's going to be sitting lotus style, okay, inside my heart. And he's the smartest kid in the world, or she. Um, so, and I want him to be sitting lotus style. So he has a little tiny neck, and then his arms are going to come out to his knees, right? So first I just give him little arms. They're going to come out, and his hands are going to be resting on his knees. I'll give him a little body. He's sitting up nice and straight with his spine nice and straight. And then his knees go up and his feet come in right in line with his spine. Like a sideways diamond. See, yeah, it's like a sideways diamond. Now, I can make that look more real by thickening up his body, and thickening up his legs, and even giving him little feet there. You see? Did I do that perfect? No. Does it look like a little person sitting lotus? Yeah. So that's all I want you to do. Now, he said he is sitting on a lotus flower. So I don't even know how many leaves that has, but I'm just going to make some nice petals here. Do you know, Logan? I'm pretty sure it has like six leaves. It has a lot. So I'm just going to make some random petals here. Check it out. I love it. Look. See? So there he is sitting on a lotus flower. See? Right? So play with that a second. Take your time. Don't try to fix anything. Let it be what it is. Yeah. Yeah. Can I show? I want to show you this one Logan's doing. Check it out. I love it. Yes. I see a winged one. I see a winged one here. So play with those little techniques for a while, and I will read to you some more what Ram Dass has to say. We left off with you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Your life experience is a vehicle for becoming conscious, for becoming liberated. Ultimately, that's what you're doing here. This awareness helps you discriminate between thoughts, feelings, and actions that bring you closer to God, to your own freedom, or those that take you away. It's just learning to be aware of the self. Instead of filling your mind with the daily news, fill it with stuff that helps you become more conscious, like nothing, like time in nature, like, yeah, the breath. So, how do you become conscious of all these unconscious influences? You go within to your spiritual heart. You become the observer and you watch the drama that is in your entire life. When you quiet your mind enough to transcend your ego, you can begin to hear how it all is. Then you watch with, and I love this, unbearable compassion. Let it be your compass ion. Let it be your compass ion. Compass. Compassion. Ah, compass ion, compassion. I like that. So unbearable compassion for yourself and all beings. Unbearable compassion for yourself and all beings. Practice that. What if we all did? Watching involves what you may call the witness consciousness, which comes from your soul plane. It's another way of polishing the mirror to connect your thinking mind with your spiritual heart. You observe your behavior and thoughts, enhancing your ability to live fully in the moment, to be here now. It's not that you do it, it's how you do it, where you are coming from. What does Chandra say? Living on purpose for a purpose, every moment, on purpose for a purpose. Now, the witness doesn't evaluate and it doesn't judge your actions. That's a tough one. It merely makes known to them. Look at Kim now struggling. Yes. So, on purpose for a purpose, make things matter. Make things matter, yes. Mother matter. Yes.
And we honor the divine feminine in all beings,
Yes.
including the earth, including our husbands, sons, mothers, daughters, sisters, friends. It's that feminine aspect that usually feels restricted.
Yes. I like that. I hope y'all could hear that. Yeah. So make yourself matter. Make mother matter. If you are a mother, or your mother, the planet, like the mother in all of us, make it matter. Make your heart matter. And relax. Hmm. Yeah, relax and remain centered in the witness, watching life's drama unfold. The witness is always here and now. It resides in each instant of living. So relax and be light. Dance through it all. Trusting, quieting, and flowing, and breathing in and out. It's your journey. Don't forget. You will keep forgetting and remembering, forgetting and remembering, forgetting and remembering. And then every now and then you will remember in a profound way. And you just keep your eye on that. Breathing in and out, eventually the balance shifts. You allow your life to become simpler and more harmonious. Less and less you grab at this and push away that. You listen to hear how it is rather than imposing a structure. Who am I becoming? What will I be when I grow up, are irrelevant? I can't even say the word. Irrelevant when you're just being. All these models just fall away. You start to sit simply, live simply, just be where you are. Just be with who you are when you're with them. Then you listen for your dharma, the spiritual way of living your life.
Heal all the karma.
And you heal all the karma, and your whole life becomes a meditative act. It's all about meditation and the practice of being here now with your fine self and with all of us. Meditation for elation gives us our highest possible thought. You spiritualize your life. You convert it all by maintaining a frame of reference that has the dual capacity of centering you and increasing the power of one-pointedness. Bring your mind to one point and wait for grace. It's a good mudra. Bring everything to one point and wait for the highest possible thought. Write it down. Make it into art. Say it out loud. The same good I wish for myself, I wish for all beings. May all beings feel peace.
May all beings be happy.
May all beings be happy.
May all beings be loved.
May all beings be loved. May all beings be joyful. So I'm going to show you how to bring the light now from within and out to the world from our little tiny wisdom holding childlike self that lives in our heart. We're going to make him shine now. And I'm even going to get a little yellow. It's probably not going to come off. It'll wear off. Getting a little yellow out, having a hard time squeezing. Squeezing my tube on my finger. Okay. Hi. We're doing a guided painting and cleanup. So I'm going to start with yellow and a little white. And again, we're going to do the dry brush thing where we're going to wipe most of the paint off the brush. So I just use my smock here and wipe most of the paint off. I'm going to go to my little child self there and start with the brush right beside it. And then I'm going to drag outward and drag outward and drag outward and go all the way around him, her, that being. I'm going to do it again with white now. Ooh, my white got mixed with a little red. That's okay. Do it again. Look at that. And just make that little, oh. Now you see what happens when I didn't dry it off on my paper towel. Got a little bit whiter, but I actually think it's okay. Because I really want this to be the light from within. See? Now I can also, I like when I do this. So sometimes when you see light and then you see it comes in a circle. So where I have that, then I make a circle and further.
Oh,
You see, so he's really illuminated. You could even bring some orange into that as it gets further away from center, maybe. I'm going to go again with some more yellow to make that circle a little more prominent. So this is your self that contains the entire universe. This is your little child self inside that contains all the wisdom and knowledge. You came here to this earth knowing everything. Everything you need to know on your journey is available to you. I'm going to make my lotus flower kind of pink. Make sure that I can still see the shape of that heart. I kind of went over it a little more. Now see what's happening. You can always paint over. You can always go back and forth and back and forth. I love playing around with the dry brush and the effect that that gives. It's one of my favorite things. Now, if you wanted, let's see. We have this oval-shaped head up here. Do we want to do anything with that? I'm going to go with a little purpley blue and create a little closed eyes. See, there's two little eyes closed. A little tiny nose shape. Give her some eyebrows. And a little tiny mouth. Sometimes I make a mouth by making two dots, which would indicate like boop, boop, the top lip, you know how it dips down in between. So if you make a dot and then a line, it kind of gives it that feel of a top lip. Hope that made some kind of sense. And if you make it anything too big or like, see, like it looks like, whoa, what a lip. I'm just going to go with the black now and thin that up. I'm just going to thin it up by covering and then further giving it the shape I want. See? See? So that's how you do. And you can continue. You could give wings to yourself. You could give this whole glowy, shiny effect. You could do more shooting stars. However you want to do. I'm going to continue that light just coming out, with some more rings for a second. So I hope you're enjoying polishing the mirror. I know I am. It gives me some great things to think. Chapter 2 is the path of devotion, is what we're going to be reading about next week. And gentle reminders, the basic tools that we use in Creative Companions are the artist date and the morning pages. And morning pages is journaling. This is for all y'all, anybody who's new, reminders for all y'all that might be working with journaling. We come to Creative Companions with an open mind to try some things and see what works for us on our path. Can I borrow that white? Um, so journaling I've been doing for 27 years. 3 pages of brain drain in the morning is what Julia Cameron, the writer of The Artist Way, recommends. And it's a conversation with yourself. Work through your issues. Use affirmations to program a positive day for yourself. So I'd love to hear your experiences. If you've tried out journaling, if not, I highly recommend that. The other thing that we work with in the other basic tool is the artist date, and just taking yourself out and doing something fun just for the sake of doing that. And maybe for you, your artist date could be meditation. Maybe meditation is brand new in your world. So for 20 minutes a day, maybe, or once a week, whatever you can commit to. That's also something we talk a lot about, making commitments to ourselves and doing those things and trying those things that can be life changing. Find what feels good, Adrian says from Yoga with Adrian. All day, every day. I'm just making some more dots and adding some more light coming from this center. So I would love to see your completed piece from today, your universal self and your higher self shining from your heart space. Make sure you always sign your work and date it. So sign it at the bottom. And until then, see you next week. I like the paint on my fingers. Love yourself more and more and more. That's going to be all for now. I love you. I love me. See you next